Hello and welcome to this week's edition of CTN Community Update. During a medical emergency, Coon Rapids firefighters are very often your first line of defense. CTN's Jennifer Anderson shows us a brand new medical device that Coon Rapids firefighters are some of the first in the nation to use.
You guys ready?
Sure. You are.
A day in the life of a Coon Rapids firefighter.
5, 6, 7.
Doesn't necessarily involve fire.
Looks like it's good.
Timer.
Due to us being a full-time department, we have staff on 24 hours a day. We respond to a lot of medical calls, and with that, you never know if your call is going to end up being a simple medical or a cardiac arrest.
Coon Rapids Fire responds to roughly 6,500 calls each year. About 72% of those calls are actually medical-related issues. And now, if a crew needs to do CPR,
And the first few minutes are very crucial.
this new board could make a difference.
The progression up the arrow is indicating that it's raising.
Firefighters showed us how to use the latest in CPR technology. The EllaGuard board slides under a patient's head.
2, 3.
The thought is that slowly elevating the head will soften the rush of blood to the brain.
And being that they have not had blood flowing through their body, you start doing the compressions, and the belief was that every time that blood goes through, it's hitting the brain and causing a concussion type effect. So what they decided is they created this EllaGuard system. The EllaGuard system over the course of 2 minutes raises the head up 30 degrees.
Allina Health is leading a pilot program to research the effectiveness of the board. Coon Rapids was chosen, along with the Florida Fire Department, as the first to implement the EllaGuard system.
Certainly once we saw this device in action, we thought, yeah, let's try it and see where it's going.
Crews are fully trained and already using the boards in the field, and then sharing the data with Allina Health to assist the research. For CTN Update, I'm Jennifer Anderson.
The EllaGuard boards, which retail for $6,500, are now on all 3 of the fire department's rescue trucks. It's training they hope they never have to use, but local first responders took part in a disaster drill last Saturday involving a Northstar commuter train. Personnel from the Coon Rapids Police and Fire Departments took part. They got a behind-the-scenes look at emergency shutoffs for fuel, electricity, and learned how to remove emergency windows. The Federal Railroad Administration requires an emergency simulation take place every 2 years. It's still in the discussion phase, but the city hopes a full interchange could eventually be constructed at Highway 610 and East River Road. A public open house will take place next Thursday from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Head Start ACAP building off Foley Boulevard. Residents are invited to learn more about the project, speak with engineers, and provide feedback. Anoka County will also be holding an open house at the same time to discuss plans for an overpass at the railroad crossing on Foley Boulevard. After nearly 50 years in the ground, hazardous waste in an Andover landfill is about to be removed. Final funding for the $22 million project was secured last month. CTN's Dan Carpenter tells us what's being done to stop water contamination from a high-risk landfill.
The full site itself opened as a dump in 1962.
At a community meeting in Andover, May 8th,
Working closely with the fire department.
its residents learned why one of its neighbors is causing a lot of problems.
What I just found out tonight, actually, is that it's been around a long time.
Under a grassy hill just south of Andover Boulevard and west of Hanson Boulevard, more than 6,000 barrels of hazardous waste is contaminating groundwater. The Problem Waste Disposal Engineering landfill pit measures just 1/3 of an acre, but has cost as much as $500,000 every year since 1995 to address the pollution.
As far as residents are concerned, their drinking water is safe.
The Minnesota Pollution Control Agency says work to extract and dispose of the waste is about to begin.
They are going to put up a large enclosure, which will be similar to like a salt tent that you would see, those big white fabric tents, to make sure that we're capturing any vapors that would be released as the material is exposed.
As early as July, the industrial waste will be trucked to a rail line where it will travel out of state for incineration and disposal.
Anything that they see on the road, the trucks have not come directly from the enclosure. They will have had the material dropped onto the truck after it's been decontaminated.
Work to build a staging area, begins the middle of May.
Today is almost a celebratory day because finally we're going to get this toxic pit out of Andover. Isn't that wonderful?
Air monitoring stations will ensure nearby residents are safe, and the local fire department will train to respond to an accident at the pit.
If there were something to happen, we are the responders.
The work by Clean Harbors Incorporated and its subcontractors may be completed as early as mid-November.
Let's solve it, let's get rid of it, let's get it done and make sure that we have a healthy community.
Dan Carpenter for CTN Update.
Andover residents can expect increased truck traffic and the smell of sulfur while the cleanup is underway. Project updates will be provided by the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency through the city of Andover. The Coon Rapids Public Works Department is holding its annual open house next weekend. The event will take place Saturday, May 18th from 10 a.m. to noon. Residents are invited to come check out the snowplows, tractors, and other big rigs used in the city. You can also tour the Public Works facility and learn more about the Coon Rapids Recycling Center. The open house is free and will be held rain or shine. Also next weekend, the popular home remodeling tour in Coon Rapids. It will take place Sunday, May 19th from noon to 4 p.m. 6 homes remodeled as part of the city's Home for Generations 2 program will be open for public viewing. Residents will also be able to check out newly remodeled kitchens and bathrooms and get ideas for their own homes. A brochure with the addresses of the homes taking part can be downloaded from the city's website, coonrapidsmn.gov. All right, that is going to bring us to the end of today's show. Good luck to everyone out there hitting the lakes for the fishing opener, and happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. We'll see you back here again next week.